You know, a year ago today, I decided to challenge myself by coming all the way over here to Harvard and studying in the Advanced Leadership Initiative. And at times it was hard. I was tired with all the travel. But I think when I look back, I'm gonna know that this was one of the greatest experiences of my life.
You got barbecue back there! Earthquake Hollywood!
The most exciting voice in all of sports broadcasting.
Hits the edge. Carl down the sideline. Blake. Carl does it again.
As dynamic as he is in the broadcast booth,
And like Dijon, this kid could cut the mustard.
he's even better in person. Please join me in welcoming play-by-play announcer Gus Johnson.
In 2021, you decided to return back to higher education and decided to enroll at Harvard.
In 2020, I feel like I was at the top of my game, but then all of a sudden, the whole world shut down. And I said to myself, when and if things got back to normal, I was gonna do something. I've been blessed to call games for over 30 years. Wow, what a life. Couldn't ask for a better life. But my other passion is speaking to kids about life experiences and the importance of trying to give back. This week, I'm honored to spend an afternoon with the students at the world-famous Ohio State University.
So 30 years after getting your degree at Howard, what inspired you to now pursue a degree at one of the best universities in the country?
You know, during COVID, quarantining was the roughest part. Remember that time during COVID where we were just all in the house? It had an impact on me. I suffered a little bit of paranoia, a little depression. So I guess Harvard was an opportunity so I could heal, so I could learn, so I could grow. And the Advanced Leadership Initiative Fellowship at Harvard is a one-year program where you bring world leaders in. We have to move to campus for a year of intense study and discussion on the problems that face mankind. Now my Monday to Thursday focus will be as a full-time student. But I also, keep my Fox announcing job, calling games around the country on weekends. Hey, guys.
What's up? Hey.
What's up, man? You good?
How you feeling?
All right. Feel great.
Good.
I'm ready to play linebacker tomorrow. All right?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Me and Mozzie. I'm going to be right behind Mozzie.
That dude is good. Man.
He's good.
The best part about Gus is that what you see on Saturday is not an act. He is that exuberant.
There he is. My main man.
How we doing?
How you doing, sir?
Good, how you doing?
All right, good to see you.
Great to see you too.
Every single coach that we meet with or sit down with, they love seeing Gus.
Here we go.
Folks.
I know.
Folks, this is the head coach of the Big Ten champion Michigan Wolverines. He's one of the greatest Wolverines in the history of this university and also one of the great captain comebacks, man. This is Jim Harbaugh. He was one of my idols as a kid. You
Wow.
know, right? Yeah, you were.
Feel free to share that with the
I
world.
wanted to be like you. I wanted to catch passes from you, Jim.
Don't feel like you had to keep that to yourself.
Yeah,
Spread the
man.
word on that.
Big Ten champion. When I first started, I wanted to sound like Bob Costas or Al Michaels or Jim Nance, the legends. People always ask me, well, where did you get your style from? I got a note from an acting teacher one time, and she said, you're doing well now, but once you let that little black boy from Detroit out of his cage, then you'll be a star.
Aiden Hutchinson. He'll roll up on you folks and let you smell his cologne.
Which means be yourself.
Oh, what an interception! Oh my gosh! DJ Graham! Give me that, Odell!
He lets the game come to him, and it just the right moment, there's this kind of passionate chaos that explodes.
Drops back, floats it in the end zone, and it's intercepted! Brisker! Wow! Brisker!
As he's calling the game, he doesn't think about it as the broadcaster. He's just excited as a fan. That's his superpower.
Do I have a favorite live call? I love all the Hollywood calls.
Winds up, down the field, Hollywood! Touchdown! Who is this kid? Where'd he come from?
How many calls would you like? See, I got to get all of these back in my head.
Gordon Schlager to the sideline, caught, first down!
Ohio State, Maryland, the big hit, and he dropped his.
You got barbecue back there? And you didn't invite me? Hurt my feelings!
When it really lands, since I'm right there, I'll give him the look. He'll look back. Like, another one.
It energizes the truck. We're all cracking up, but you never know when they're gonna come.
The on-the-air story that I will always remember is Dicker the kicker.
A child shall lead.
And he made a young kicker the star.
Cameron Dicker for University of Texas, Red River, immortality. Earthquake! He hit it! Dicker, the kicker!
At 55 years old, I don't want to just be a voice. I thought about it. I said, maybe I should go back to school. But, you know, I got this busy schedule, being on TV and all that kind of stuff. So I reached out to a couple different schools, and one of those schools was Harvard University. And I reached out to Tommy Amaker, their head coach. And Tommy and I go back 25 years. And I reached out to him and I said that I was interested in going back to school, and he started recruiting me. He said, "You're coming here. You're not going anywhere else." So he queued me up with the program, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in a 2.5 to 3 week span, I had to have my papers written. I had to get 3 recommendation letters, faculty interviews. When it was all said and done, I had to find out how Fox felt about it.
I was surprised because of how busy Gus is, but I wasn't surprised that Gus, the man, had this passion and curiosity to kind of challenge himself.
The thing that really kind of like spun my cap was I asked him, I said, "Well, Eric, would you write a recommendation letter for me? I needed 3 recommendation letters." And he said, "Absolutely." I presented it to the university's faculty leadership. They had to take a vote. They voted. I want to tell you this is one thing I'm proud of, and I'm just going to share this with y'all. In the history of the Advanced Leadership Initiative, which goes back to 2009, there was never a unanimous selection until your man G Money stepped in there. 15-0. 15-0. So I ended up going back to school, and I'm up at school right now, and, you know, it's been a wonderful experience. All right. Monday. Time to rinse and repeat. Big week this week. Gotta go to my Montezuma's Mexico class with Dr. Carrasco. We're working on the project this week, the Backpack Initiative. Then on Wednesday, we got ALI. Here we go. Monday. Fun day. I was nervous about coming here. I mean, come on, it's Harvard. And I didn't know what the academic rigors would be. And once I got here, I realized the one thing about sportscasting, even though it's sports, there's a academic side to it, a serious academic side. But I'm having one of the coolest experiences that a person can have. I'm vibing out with people in my class, get their perspective on what's going on in the world. At the same time, I get a chance to work. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Hey, what up, though? I need my NIL. I got a year eligibility. I need $2 million, right? That's what's about to happen.
See what I'm saying?
But I need 16 shots a game, and I ain't playing no defense. I ain't playing no defense. And, I gotta come out because I'm 55. I can't be in there too long.
What up, dog?
I'm gonna give you a what up, baby. What up, man? Anyway, Coach, you changed my life. This has changed my life.
One of the things I admire deeply and greatly about you, and you're an example for our guys, wanting to be a life learner.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to do this.
Coach, I'm at Harvard.
Harvard needs you.
My mama is in heaven, and she doing the salsa. She getting the hips into it.
She said her work is done.
Her work is done.
Work is done.
My man, I appreciate you. I love you, man. Mom, B. Troy Johnson. Dad, Augustine Johnson. I'm an only child. My parents stressed education and sports. We were poor people, but the thing we had in abundance was love. I grew up on the west side of Detroit, at times a violent neighborhood. The 70s, early 80s, it was the time of an organization, a street organization called Young Boys Incorporated. You see guys with shiny objects, cars, and you got the girls. And I thought about it, but I realized that my father would kill me. I was more afraid of my father than I was of God himself.
I don't know if you had his story. His mother wanted him to write this essay. Gus didn't write the essay. He went to go play baseball. His mom came out while he was on the field. You know, the walk. Right in front of everybody. And she took him and said, "You're gonna write this essay." And he wrote the essay, and it got all the accolades and awards behind it that it needed. And it's like his mother knew then that his writing was special. That was the one spark that started it all. His father and mother put that type of love into him in order for him to be able to share that type of love.
The University of Detroit Jesuit High School, or U of D High, was the place that I think I found what it could be like to get out of the hood. There I played football, basketball, and baseball, and it was hard. I was totally overwhelmed by the academics.
One of the things I think that is telling about him is his mother pushed him to strive to be the best.
Hey, what up, baby? I ain't see you today. You was in the back?
I was in the left corner.
All right, all right. Me and him in the same class with Dr. C.
What made Gus a little bit different was that he was more observant than a lot of the other players. He was analyzing games, and he was very good under pressure, which is something that has served him well in his career path.
What up, Joe? What up, Joe? You good?
Yes, sir.
You chilling? How your hip?
In high school, Gus Johnson was a leader, having him being given the Sid Rame Award, which is the highest award given to an athlete here at the school.
Going there really changed my life. Pedro Arrupe, who used to be the head of the Jesuits, back in the 70s, he coined the phrase, men for others. And that mantra is something that I've tried to live by. It's Thursday, on the road, Friday meetings, Saturday showtime, and then back to Harvard for classes on Monday.
This segment contains inflammatory language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Uh-oh, look what we got here. Murderers Row. Murderers Row.
Trouble.
International financier. International financier. boss lady right here. That's my girl. And also, the general counsel. What's up, big man?
Okay.
Last but not least, nonprofit. She know how to go get that money.
The Advanced Leadership Initiative seeks to develop the skills and interests of high-level professionals for the next stage of their life's work.
The subtext of this program is social change and having a social impact on the world.
Yeah, I worked on a project called Stolen Youth, which helped young women exit sex trafficking.
We study things like climate change, race, human rights, gun control, gun safety, mental health.
We have deep dives, that is to say, 2 or 3 days worth of workshops that address particular issues.
For me, the scariest one was climate change. I mean, that really scared me. The geologist came in and talked about what's going on with the ozone layer, and he's comparing it almost to the time period right before the extinction of the dinosaurs. Henri, because I know climate change is your...
What is pretty clear is that what we've done as a race has modified the climate of the entire planet. We know that for sure. There's no doubt about it. The only discussion now is what are we going to do about it?
You know, guys, what I really love is that we have an amazing relationship with each other of trust and respect.
Yeah.
One of the moral consciences of the cohort.
Thank you. That means a lot to me, because I'm not that smart.
There must be 3 or 4 Gus's. I don't know how he has the time and the mental capacity. He must be amazing at compartmentalizing.
One of the major ways I try to calm my mind is through my study of martial arts, which is called Kali, Eskrima.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Keeps me young, it keeps my blood flowing, it keeps my mind active. And I'm just so happy that I have this in my life to be able to ground myself. I mean, one of my favorite parts of being here at Harvard, it's office hours with Professor C. Profe, another great lecture, man.
Hey, man, so good to see you in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Part of our wisdom search.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And to meet a man like Professor Carrasco and having him in my life now, it gives me strength because I can talk to him. He specializes in divinity and anthropology, not only the study of man, but the study of what man believes and how he's come together to believe it in different cultures.
But in terms of the way in which they tell their stories, which is one of the things that you and I are looking at here while you're at Harvard, is storytelling from people who were left out of a lot of the storytelling.
Well, my father, he was the smartest man I ever met, and he never went past the 3rd grade. I remember this one time, he called me in a panic, and he said, I need you to promise me that no matter what, under all circumstances, for the rest of your life, you'll have fun. Because when you get to the point that I'm at, the only thing you're going to remember are the good times. He died a week later, and that was the last conversation I had with him.
How did your dad get that wisdom? I mean, you know, he didn't grow up in under the tutelage of the Buddha, but he must have gathered some really powerful things.
He grew up during segregation and the civil rights movement, and it was hard for him being an uneducated man, growing up in the South. You know, he used to shine shoes. I remember this one time, he told me a story about shining shoes in front of this hotel in Louisville. And a man came out, white man, he was shining his shoes, and he said, sir, I'm gonna make sure you get the best shine in the world today. You look like you might be having a bad day. And the man turned around, the white man turned around and smacked him. and said, "Nigga, don't ever speak to me, just shine my shoes." That had an impact on him. It's a story he talked about all of his life. And then when I became a sportscaster, I had to do a game at Louisville, and I invited my dad. And so when we got up to the hotel, all of a sudden his whole mood changed. He sat on the bed with his head hanging long and deep, almost as if he was trying to push himself out of the room and into the room at the same time. And I said, "Dad, what's wrong, man?" He said, "Son, remember that story I told you about the man when I was shining his shoes?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "This was the hotel I shined shoes in front of. And son, I've never been inside of this hotel. So this is a weird thing that I'm experiencing right now." So he had all those life experiences.
But somewhere along the line, you know, he instilled in you some knowledge and some wisdom to strive to be a winner, to be a dominant person.
It's ironic because I've been studying a lot of Marcus Aurelius in his book Meditations, and one of the things that the emperor would say is the most important thing is to be a good person and to have fun. And the same thing my dad would say to me as a kid.
They're great.
And he never read Marcus Aurelius. And that's 2,500 years ago. I just feel like I'm getting so much power and getting so much strength and getting so much confidence. So when I do go out there and talk to between 5 and 20 million people, I'm loaded.
You talked a little bit about thinking that you were going to go to the factory and work there like your father did. What in between that and going to Howard did the Lord give you your calling to not only do play-by-play, but do play-by-play for mostly college?
My mother. I miss her. She talk about sacrifice. She sacrificed everything for me. Unfortunately, she didn't get to see all this. She'd have been so proud. But she queued me up. She put me on the path. I always like to say, my mother was the greatest offensive coordinator a boy could ever have. She had better plays than Ryan Day, baby. We were throwing it all over the field. And we could run it. My mother was a big advocate of historically black colleges and universities. And I played to Howard, and I got into Howard. And she gave me one of the greatest pieces of advice that one could get. She says, "Son, all I can say to you is, pick a job that you'll jump out of bed in the morning to do, even if you only make enough money to meet your bills." I love sports. I feel like I'm an effective communicator. And sports changes every day. So I walked over to the student station. There was a guy by the name of Chris Washington, and he was the general manager. I figured I'd like to try to maybe get a job as a sportscaster so I can learn. And Chris looked at me and said, "Congratulations, you're the sports director." Just like that. My whole life changed. Back at the crib, home sweet home, Michigan, getting ready for this big time game at the big house. This week I've had a good life in my Montezuma's Mexico class, hang out with my classmates in my cohort, and then get on a plane and come to the University of Michigan. This is hollow grounds here. This place never gets old. And when you see it tomorrow, over 100,000 fans, just rocking, it's a bucket list moment. Yo, 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 yo.
My man.
My man.
All right.
What's up, man?
You want to do the super teams first?
No, let's do the billboards first. On a Friday, I do my voiceover reads.
Big Noon Saturday is Big Noon Saturday. Big Noon Saturday. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by.
During the afternoon, we're watching film, and I'm putting my boards together.
Are you kidding me? Really? Network TV, dude. No, look at the opposite. No, it's the opposite. Look at this arm. Really? Hi, everybody. Gus and Joel. Hi, everybody. I look like Urkel.
You're about to be happy with that?
Go back to Chicago and Telly Hughes.
Have a chance to go to production meetings with the coaches and the players. And then we do our production meeting later on that night. When I got my first job, I said, Daddy, I got a job as a sportscaster in Waco, Texas. They're paying me $16,000 a year, which I thought was the most money in the history of the world. He said, wait a minute, son. You're meaning to tell me that they're gonna pay you to watch sports? And I said, yeah. And he said, damn, I should have went to college.
Yo, yo. Game day. Ah! Here we go.
The game day experience of Saturdays is bliss for me.
Come on, we take you inside the truck. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Here we go. What up, baby? This is where they do it all. Hey, what's up, guys?
You know, when you have Gus there, the event seems bigger.
He's like, yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you. That's my first Michigan game. Thank you. Guys, to be. All right.
Having an opportunity to go down on the field and talk to some of the players before the game, and running into fans, I just find it divine in a way.
Anytime that we ever get a chance to welcome people into the booth, he welcomes them in with open arms and teaches them about it.
Young sportscasters here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Asks if they want his number, tells them that he'll help them out.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck.
Great to see you.
Success. Okay?
You as well.
Let's go downstairs to the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Actually, last season, Gus, every single game, would check in on me when we were in a commercial break because I was pregnant and make sure I was hydrating or I was sitting, and he truly was thinking about me during the game, and I will always remember that.
Fox production team, those are my guys. Like, we've been together for 12 years now, and I feel so protected more than anything when I'm with them.
5, 4, start move 3, start move 10 slow. And
Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt, and welcome to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where hope springs eternal with this Michigan football team. They're the Big Ten champions, coming here undefeated, and they've got two major weapons on offense. As for Maryland, they come in undefeated at 3-0. Mike Loxley, their head coach, got a big-time extension. He has them growing.
He's very cognizant of the audience he's talking to. He's representing a segment of the population that's very important to him.
He's not into killing kids, talking bad about their game. No, that's somebody's child. He's always been mindful of that. He might get on the coaches, but never the kids.
Hey, Joel, let's get on these coordinators for not being in sync. It's an observation. They look flat. They don't look like they have any rhythm. Right.
Here he is, McCarthy looking, nobody. McCarthy, and he's sacked.
We have something that Professor Carrasco taught us. Collective effervescence takes place when you're at church, at a concert, and everybody's coming together, and we're riding a spiritual wave.
Tagovailoa, surveying, drops it off, touchdown, Maryland.
And I feel that the same thing exists in sports. And I serve as that orchestrator, that maestro of bringing everybody together as we watch this game.
McCarthy gives it to Corum, hits the edge. Corum down the sideline. Blake, Corum does it again. 47 yards. The little big man.
My experience here at Harvard is making my experience calling games much better because I'm getting smarter. My subject matter is expanding.
I'm Gus Johnson saying so long and have a wonderful day.
Now let me go back and write a paper. I gotta write a paper now. What was I thinking? It behooves a man with God-given ability to stand 10 feet tall. You never know how many youngsters may be watching. Wow. Jesse Owens. You know, I speak to a lot of people, especially kids, every week about just trying to make a change in the world. And today it's this man, Jesse Owens. It was 1936. And the Olympics were in Berlin, Germany. And the world was on the brink of war. And there was this bad man in Germany that was promoting a theory of racial supremacy. And Jesse Owens, in this bad man's backyard, at his, as the kids would say, at his crib, put a whooping on him. The worst whooping. 4 gold medals, 100, 200, 4x100, long jump, right in this man's face. So that's why when you see me call the game nowadays, you may hear me say, the world-famous Ohio State University. That is an ode to him. And it's something that we can never forget. We gotta take one more. You know, I think today is what it was all about, just having a chance to give back and maybe having an impact on some of these young people. You know what I really like about this program is just being able to hang out with my classmates, with y'all, you know. And
one of the good opportunities of having the fellows in person, they get to know each other outside of the classroom.
So I'm a deputy chief in Detroit. President Obama, it's like 2014. He's in Detroit. So you know when the president comes in town, there are photo ops. And he's so energetic. You know, he stands next to me and he says, smile. I'm nervous. And so when he smiles and he reaches in and he grabs me and then I hug him and say, oh, it's official. And they were like, what? I was like, we're in a relationship. His Secret Service just burst out laughing.
ALI is not just in the classroom. The professors assign us projects with the goal of making a difference in the world right now. I want to use the resources that I have to have a social impact on people that matter the most to me, which is primarily Black kids. The Backpack Initiative basically came out of nowhere. I was talking to a very dear friend of mine, Dr. John Witherspoon, who's been a friend of mine since we were 14 years old. And she's gone on to great academic success.
He said, you know, I really want to do something to impact children in the city that I'm from Detroit. And I said, okay. Sometimes kids just need the basics, and they need to know that someone is out there that cares.
And she said, well, you know what you need to do? You need to get some backpacks. And when you pack that backpack, make sure you have everything Harvard so you can send a symbol to these kids, a symbol of excellence that will plant a seed in them. And when she told me that, bing. Dr. Spool.
Hey, Augustus.
What up, what up, what up?
How are you?
All right.
Good to
We're getting
see
all
you.
queued up over here.
We're getting ready. Can you believe it's time?
That's right.
Look at the backpacks. I can't wait to see the smiles on their faces today.
That's right. Follow me. I am the promise, of a better tomorrow. All right. But I want this to resonate with you in your minds and in your hearts, that you can achieve anything and everything. And it all comes through education. Everybody that's sitting in front of me right now has the ability and the potential to not only get A's, but to go to Harvard. Now, check this out. You're gonna walk around your neighborhood with these bags on your back, and people are gonna say, Harvard? Where'd you get that bag? Why are you wearing that? And you know what you're gonna say to them? I'm going to Harvard. That's where I'm going. You plant that in your mind right now.
He really has a heart for children.
Thank you.
All right.
He was one of the children that needed a little extra.
You're welcome. And there's a note from my classmates at Harvard. You could be a pen pal. These people are some of the most talented people in all aspects of life in the entire world.
I hope they know that there is a bright future out there for them.
Who likes to read in front of the class?
As a guy from Detroit, if you spark the mind that young, Lord knows what the future looks like for each one of them.
I hope that these gifts from Harvard will encourage you and remind you that excellence is a part of your story.
We think you and your classmates can be great leaders.
And out of those 85, I'm willing to bet you at least one makes it there.
I'm going to Harvard. I'm going to Harvard.
And I know you have what it takes to excel in this world.
I will go to Harvard.
I'm going to Harvard.
And remember how school can be a starting place for the future.
You got this.
All right. My man.
All right, scholars. 1, 2, 3.
Remember, this is a goal. And you know what a goal is? A dream with a deadline. All right?
All right.
My man. Be good, okay? Have a great day. The best. The best thing ever.
How you doing? How are things going for you? Because I know you're busy.
Being able to come here and watch you guys practice and kick it with you, and just, this is a rich, textured time in my life, man, and the semester's almost over. My year is coming to an end, and I know that when that happens, I'm gonna be sad, because this has been just the best thing I've ever done for myself.
Well, don't think that it's just one-way street. Mm-hmm. Don't think it's just Harvard filling you up. You filling us. Mm-hmm. Like, Harvard needs you.
As this program comes to an end, I'm getting kind of sad that I'm actually gonna have to leave. I wish I could do them both at the same time. I like this life. I like being busy. I like being pressed to have to write a paper. It's just hard to believe I only have 2 weeks left. And talk about an unbelievable finish. Calling the greatest rivalry in college football.
As number 3 Michigan comes into town to take on number 2, the world-famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
Hop on a plane back to Harvard to finish my paper and also my final presentation. Catch another flight to Indy for the Big Ten Championship.
The beautiful part about it is you don't know where he gets all the strength from. Game time, he ready, but behind that, tired. Mentally, physically tired.
All right, welcome to the house that Peyton built, Lucas Oil Stadium. Done with my classwork. Now, Michigan taking on Purdue in the Big Ten Championship. Let's go, baby.
The Harvard commitment hasn't affected his job with us at all.
First down at the 25 now for the Wolverines, out of the offset out.
I think it's because he's just enjoying himself.
No, it's McCarthy throwing in the corner. Touchdown. Another first down. Tracy, touchdown, Purdue. Delivers, caught at the 25. Chuck Sizzle. Donovan Edwards to Dodd. Again.
I also felt for him because it's a lot of work. He's got a lot on his plate.
The Wolverines are back-to-back Big Ten champions.
Sometimes you don't realize how tired you are until the end. After a tired production and travel and everything and then going to school, it's like, wow, I got to summon brain power for this.
One more flight to Boston, this time for a celebration.
So congratulations to the ALI cohort of 2022.
My ALI cohort genuinely have love for each other because we spent this year here. And I'm gonna miss them, but we gonna be together as we head down the road. That's the blessing of this program.
Gus Johnson.
Thank you, Gus.
So welcome.
What a day, what a day, what a day. You know, I never had a chance to go to my own graduation when I came out of Howard because I got a job in Waco, Texas, and I didn't get a chance to go. But this kind of makes up for it today. Accomplishment.
Everything he's done with Harvard has made me feel so elated and proud on the inside that is my brother. That is my mentor.
MVP.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of this cohort.
God bless you.
My man.
Hold this up, man.
That's right.
Hold this up. Check it out.
Yeah.
This is it.
Professor C showed up for me, man.
And I'm so proud of him for everything he's been able to achieve. And I look forward to seeing what's next after Gus graduates from Harvard.
What you're going to help do to improve Detroit is what this is all about. So thank you.
That's right. Thank you, brother. After I got my certificate, I was walking home, and it was only fitting I walked right past the Harvard football stadium. I just thought that it was cool to come in here and just kind of feel it, this moment. It's so important for us in our world to try to have some kind of impact. You may not be able to save the world, but you might be able to help one person, and that's a lot. And I think more than anything, ALI has instilled that in me for the rest of my life. This hasn't been an easy thing, working and going to school at the same time, but I have received so much support from my classmates, from my production crew. I'm so proud of this. 55 years old. I went back to school, and my mother and my father, I know, they would be happy for me. And I wish they were here. See this. I really do. But I know they're here. I know they are. Mom, Daddy, your baby boy is a Harvard alum now. And that's cool. But I keep hearing my dad, his voice in my head. And he's saying, and remember, son, there is no finish line. Don't stop.